Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Yes, class, can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Okay, and what about the screen, Laiba? Is the screen clear? Yes, please, everyone, tell me that my voice and my screen both are clear to you people so that we will start the class. Okay, okay. Today we are going to continue the chapter fungi and algae. We have already done lesson in the beginning of the December. We have gone through the part one of fungi and algae. Okay, and today this is the second lesson of this chapter, and this is lecture number 23. Today this is lecture number 23 of fungi and algae. In the previous lesson, we have learned in the previous lesson of fungi and algae general characters of fungi, characters of rhizopus, penicillium, characters of agaricus and eustylago. What do we call it? How do we pronounce it? Eustylago. Okay, and we have learned in the characteristics of fungi or the general characters of fungi that the fruiting body of or the body of the fungi is made up of mycelium, which are and the mycelium are made up of thread like structure which are called hyphae, and hyphae are coinocytic. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of coinocytic? Write down in the Walaikum Assalam, Fatma. Yes, start writing the meaning of coinocytic. Meaning of coinocytic, you can take help from the book, or I will. Multi, what multi? Yes, Abdul Rahman, what is meaning of multi? Multinucleated, multinucleus or multinucleate. These thread-like structures, they are multinucleated, means there are so many nucleus present in a single thread. That's why they are called multinucleated. And the particular term that is used for multinucleated structure is called coinocytic. Okay, and they are they are mostly present above the ground, but the structure of the fungus is like that. Its roots are under the ground, they are widespread, and the whole complete body is called mycelium, and the hyphae, it is grown under the ground. And the upper fruiting body, we can see the fruiting body and we utilize it for edible purpose. Mariam, please shut down the camera. Turn off the camera, Mariam. Okay, and I have also used a word thallophyta. I have used a word thallophyta in my last class. What does it mean? Thallophyta. 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 What does it mean? It is also written in your books, thallophyta. And I asked you to underline it. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of thallophyta? Okay, Fatma. Follow. Follow. Yes. Is there anybody going to tell me what is the meaning of thallophyta? Yes, Abdul Rahman, Ishal, Fatma, Hafsa, Lujan. Thallophyta are lacking true root stems and leaves. Yes, good. Thallophytes are those algae or fungi or those organisms belong in the plant kingdom. We considered them earlier in the plant kingdom like fungi. They lack true root, stem, and leaf. Uh, you have read in class 6 about the algae, fungi, mosses, conifers, that they are the they are, though they are considered as, yes, though they are considered as plants, but they lack true roots, stems, and leaves. like fungi, we can see that fungi, they do not have any particular or specific, like usual stem, roots or leaves. Same is the case with the algae. So fungi earlier, they were considered as a plant in the plant kingdom, and they were grouped or placed in Thallophyta. Now they are being specified in their particular kingdom fungi. Okay, got it? Yes, everyone. Okay, now next is, today we are going to learn about the importance of fungi, their importance in food, medicines, soil fertility, and the diseases that are being caused by the fungi in plants and in human beings. Means the human diseases and the plant diseases. Okay. Now, here is a short list of the importance of fungi. First one, as the diseases that are being caused in human or animals, plants, or also under constructed buildings or the already constructed buildings. Okay, food processing and spoilage, decomposition, drugs, antibiotics and toxins, mycorrhizae, this is a type of the bacteria, sorry, fungi, lichens, again it's a combination of lichens. We will study in the next class when we will go through the algae, because lichens are the combination of algae and fungi. Genetics, ecology and biological control. Now first, we will read about, or we will learn about the importance of fungi as food. Most of the fungi, I believe that all of you have eaten fungi in the form of mushrooms, because mushrooms is the only form, or it is the only edible form of fungi, and commonly it is called mushrooms. But the type that we have learned in our last class is Agaricus. Its botanical name is Agaricus, okay, or we can say its biological name is Agaricus. The type of fungi called Agaricus, it is commonly known as mushrooms, and it's a source of nourishing and delicious food dishes. We mostly use it in pizza. Here in Pakistan, people mostly use it in Italian food and in pizza for the topping. Today, they are grown as a crop in many places throughout the world. You can see mushrooms. They are. This is the type of the. This is the shape that is commonly shown in the pictures, but the we use them in here in this picture. You can see that they are used in this form. We get them in this coloration or in this type of form. Another one, not all the mushrooms are edible. Some of them are poisonous and popularly known as toadstool or death stool. Some of the mushrooms, they are not edible and they are highly poisonous. That's why they are named as toadstools and death stool. In the next slide, we will learn about them, why they are called toadstool or death stool. Yeast, a kind of fungi, are utilized in baking industry. In this picture, you can see that this yeast is being used in the baking. When we are baking like cookies or cakes or dough or bread, we use yeast. Yeast, it's a type of fungi, and it is used in the baking industry to rise the dough, because when we add this type of fungi yeast in our dough or bread, it rises and it liberates carbon dioxide gas. It liberates carbon dioxide gas, so that our cakes or bread or pizza dough, they rises up and they swell. It gives taste to the breads, cakes, or cookies, pizza crust. Okay, yes, cheese industry. Right, good, Ramesa. Next is why it is called toadstool. Yes, in bread. Yes, Abdul Rahman. Why it is called toadstool? You can see the shape. The shape is like that. This shape, it provides a sitting stool for most of the toads, which are considered highly poisonous. Most of the toads, not frogs, the toads, they belong to class amphibian, or they are amphibians or amphibia, and they tend to sit on the top of the this on the top of the mushrooms. That's why they are called toadstools. Some mushrooms are called toadstools. This nickname probably came from the fact that they look just like a perfect spot for a toad to sit. Means it provides a perfect spot for toads to sit on. Some people believe that the term toadstool means a mushroom that is poisonous. Okay, and this belief may have come from the fact that many toads were considered highly poisonous. Okay, this is the reason why the mushrooms which are poisonous in nature, which are not considered edible, which are not used for eating purpose or in our food, they are called toadstool or death stool. Okay. Next is importance of fungi as medicine. Now here you can see the structure which has been taken under the electron microscope. This is called the penicillium. And yes, no, Abdul Rahman. It cannot absorb into our body by touching it only. It is poisonous when we eat it. Okay. So another importance of fungi as medicine is that fungi have opened a new field in the field of medicine, being the course of antibiotics. Most of the antibiotics that are being made from different types of fungi like penicillin, chloromycetin, neomycin, terramycin. Penicillin has been taken from penicillium. Likewise, different groups of fungi are being used from which the scientists and the people who work for the pharmaceutical industries, they utilize the different types of fungi for making the antibiotics. Okay, and here is the structure of penicillin or penicillium, the fungi penicillium under the electron microscope, from which they make use of penicillin. Okay, next is diseases caused by fungi in plants and humans. Here, this is the skin disease which is caused by ringworm in human beings, and it is uh, not only by the ringworm but aspergillosis and moniliasis. These are the types of fungi which cause the diseases on the skin of the human beings, and they look like some how they look like the reddish in a structure or dark brown in a structure. Okay. Next is candidiasis in human. Candidiasis is the type of disease that is the type of disease that is being caused, just a minute, that is being caused in, just a minute beta. So candidiasis, it's a type of disease in which the tongue of the human being is being infected by a type of fungi, and this type of infection is called candidiasis. Next is late blight of potatoes. This type of black mark on the internal structure of potatoes, this is called late blight, and this is being caused by some type of fungi. Next is smut in cereals. When the cereals are being rotted, when we keep them for a longer period, or when they get infected by some fungi, Ustilago. Ustilago is the type of fungi which cause smut in cereals. Yes. Yes. Nail fungi. Yes. When we have to submit our homework, Meda, we will discuss it afterwards. We will discuss it afterwards. Okay. We will announce the date shortly about the homework submission. Please now leave everything and just focus on the lesson. Next is loose smut of wheat. Loose smut of wheat, this is again caused by a type of fungi, Ustilago. Ustilago is a type of fungi which causes the disease called rust and smut. At times only rust, or like you can see loose smut or rust. These are the types of diseases which are caused in our crops or in our cereals, and they are caused by the type of fungi which is called Eustilag. Okay, next is other importance of fungi like soil fertility. They maintain soil fertility by decomposing the dead organic matter, right? If you remember, I have shown you in a picture of dead skull of a human being which was being attacked by saprophytic bacteria. And same here, same like that, the saprophytic bacteria, there are saprophytic fungi which act upon the dead organic matter. Means the human beings, plants and animals, when they die, these type of saprophytic bacteria, they act upon them, eat them, decompose means break them down into bits and pieces and then eat them, so that they mix in the soil and add the minerals of our body or of the dead organic matter. It adds the soil fertility, it increases the soil fertility. Okay, next is fermentation. Now what is fermentation? It's a property of the property of fungi which is utilized for the manufacture of ethanol, organic acid and alcoholic beverages. Fermentation, it's actually a natural process, or it's a metabolic reaction or chemical reaction through which microorganisms like yeast and bacteria, if you want to write it down, please write it down. Fermentation, it's a natural process through which microorganisms like yeast and bacteria converts converts carbohydrates such as starch and sugar into converts carbohydrates such as starch and sugar into alcohol or acids. Common examples that we use, common examples of foods or things which we commonly use after fermentation are vinegar, yogurt, cheese, bread, or some industrial alcohol production in factories, uh, like for opening the acids or acids which are being used for treating the sewage, or some other kind of acids which are used for maintaining the household. It's produced after the fermentation of fungi. Okay, next is very commonly we use vinegar, yogurt, cheese and bread. I have given you the example of that how bread is produced by using yeast. When we add yeast into the baking the things, when the batter for baking, and keep it aside for few hours, it liberates carbon dioxide gas. This uh, when we are keeping it aside for few hours, this actually we are allowing the yeast to carry out the chemical reaction which is called fermentation. Okay. Yes, yes, rice. Yes, Abdul Rahman. Yes, in rice, if we dip the rice in water for, or if we soak the rice in water for a longer period or for overnight, the rice get fermented, and the water is fermented, and it has some lentil as well. It gets very pungent smell, and this pungent smell is due to the development of fungi in the water or in the rice, and this pungent smell shows that the chemical reaction has taken place. Okay, yes, Abdul Rahman, good. Next is food spoilage. Fungi causes tremendous amount of spoilage of food stuff by many of the saprophytic bacteria. Like here in this picture, you can see the bread has been rotten by the attack of saprophytic bacteria over it. And in this picture, in the circle, they have shown the electron microscopic structure of fungi, that how though we can see only the greenish blue spot on the surface of the bread, but here they have shown us that what it is actually inside. Let me share one more example. Just a minute. Yes. Here, this is the bread mold. This is the fungi which attacks the bread when we keep the bread at very high temperature, or if we leave the bread outside the fridge for more than in the warm temperature for more than 2-3 days. What happens? The fungi acts upon them and causes its development. It develops on the food, especially we have come across so many times that our breads, like they develop growth of fungi, and this shows the greenish blue or blackish blue spot on our bread, and this is the type of fungi. Over the bread on the surface we see only the fruiting body, and over the fruiting body there are spores. You can see it very clearly that these spores, they keep on reproducing. They help the fungi to reproduce themselves, keep them spreading, right? These black spots, actually these are the spores which help the fungi to reproduce it. Okay, and this is the fruiting body. These spores are present in the fruiting body, and hyphae is developed underneath. It has roots underneath and it develops deep down. Got it? Understood? Is there any problem in understanding? Please let me know so that I'll repeat it again. If this is clear, please let me know, then we will continue with our lesson. Clear? Okay, Zeemal. What about the others? Yes, beta, quickly let me know. Okay. So we shall continue with our lesson, that fungi cause tremendous amount of spoilage of food stuffed by many of the saprophytic bacteria. So the bacteria that acts on our food and destroy or spoil our food, that is the type of fungi that is called saprophytic fungi. Okay, next is here in this picture you have seen that strawberries, they are being rotten by the attack or act of fungi, saprophytic fungi, and they rot our fruits. Okay, next is spoilage. Many types of fungi are responsible for the spoilage of leather goods, wool, books, timber, cotton, etc. Okay, so there are so many types of fungi which are responsible for the spoilage of leather products. We at times what happens, we use leather goods or like jackets or leather bags or shoes. If we keep them, if we do not use them for a longer period of time, and they get moisture, and by the passage of time they get developed the fungi, saprophytic fungi. Same is the case with wool, wool stuff, books, timber, means the wood, cotton, etc. They are being spoiled by the presence of saprophytic fungi, which rots them, which spoil them, so that we cannot use them again. Yes, orange pomegranate. Yes, yes, Abdul Rahman. Next is, yes, now beta, please open your books on page number 87. Quickly mark the important points as shown in the screen so that we will move forward to the question answer session. Quickly mark it by the time I am taking your attendance. And I want in question answer session, I want the answers from each and everybody. Please be prepared to answer and to participate. Okay, done? Yes, have you done? Okay. Next is page number 88. Please highlight the important points as shown in the screen. Done? Yes, tell me if you people have done it. No. Okay, do it fast, Anas. By the way, tell me if you have written the definition of yes, if you have written the definition of fermentation, which I was telling you guys, or should I write it down in the chat box? Fermentation is, yes, Fatma, I'm writing. Fermentation is a natural chemical reaction or process, chemical process, this is through which microorganism like yeast and bacteria converts starch and sugars into alcohol or acids like vinegar, yogurt, cheese, bread. Oh, it is, just a minute. Yes. Okay, now next is, okay, now start answering these questions. Define mycelium. Write down the definition of mycelium in the chat box. Mycelium. I want the answer from each and every student, not just Fatima and Abdul Rahman. Meda, Fauzia, Hafsa, Hamza Madni, Puria, Lujan, Laiba, everyone should participate. Zishan, Manahil, Muhammad Ali, Nurul and Rumesa, everyone, beta, please start writing the answer. Moiz Khan, Zuha, Zimal, Boys, Tabassum Fatma, Shiza. I want Samir, Bilal. I want answers from each and everyone. Please write down the definition of mycelium. Yes, it's a fungal body, right? By the ways, just a minute. How the cell wall of the fungus is made up of? How the cell wall of fungus is made up of? Fungal body is made up of, yes, its cell wall is made up of, yes. The cell wall of fungal body is made up of which type of cellulose? Everyone is writing hyphae. I'm not asking about the hyphae. Yes. Abdul Rahman, chlorophyllus, why are you writing chlorophyllus? It's fungi are non-chlorophyllous, and the cell wall in fungus, it is made up of fungal cellulose. Okay, what is meant by thallophyta? This question we have already done during the lecture. What is hyphae in the structure of fungi? What is hyphae? What is hyphae in the structure of fungi? Yes, Romessa, right. Now describe. Yes, define hyphae. Mycelium, yes, we can define hyphae, a thread-like structure. They are coinocytic and they make up the fungal body. We can define hyphae, a thread-like structure by which the mycelium or the fungal body is made up of, and hyphae are coinocytic. Thread-like structure, right, Nurulan? Yes, thread-like structure. Yes, Mada. Okay. Name any two antibiotics which are made up of fungi. Any two antibiotics. Name any two antibiotics which are made up of fungi. You can take help from the book. It is given on page number 88. You can take help from the book. So many names are mentioned. I have described it during, yes, right, described it in the lecture, and their names are also written in your book on page number 88, right? Yes, neomycin. Fatma, the spelling of neomycin, Neomycin, neomycin. Yes, Mada, right, right. Now, name any two types of fungi which are edible, which we eat. Any two types of fungi, yes, Manahil, right. Any two types of fungi which are edible. Cheese is made up of fungi. Mushroom is right. Mushroom is right. Another one that we use in baking, that is commonly used in baking. Yes, good. Good, Nurulan. Yes, mushroom and yeast. Excellent. Okay. Let me check who is not answering. Yes, Nurun Hassan, Muhammad Ali, Wise, Moiz, Zuha. Why Zuha is silent? Samir, Hamza Madni, these students, they are not replying, they are not participating in question answer section. Okay. Now, what is the name of the disease caused by fungi in potatoes? Name the disease which is caused by fungi in potatoes. Zishan, please don't say anything over here. Cheddar cheese, Abdul Rahman, right? No, I am asking about the name of disease which is caused in potatoes due to fungi. Late blight of potatoes. Yes, right. Yes, late blight of potatoes. Okay, now next question, what is meant by fermentation? We have discussed it, and I have just written the definition of fermentation here. You can just write down in your own words. Have you ever experienced fermentation in your kitchen? Have you ever experienced fermentation, process of fermentation in your kitchen? Yes, Bilal, where? Okay, class. Why some mushrooms are called toadstool? Why some mushrooms are called toadstool? They are poisonous and they cannot be eaten. Yes, right. Because and it comes from the fact or belief that these are used as a perfect sitting spot for toads, and toads, they are highly poisonous. They are amphibians. They just look like frog, but their skin is poisonous. We cannot touch it. It has glands on the under the skin which liberates poison. That's why it is called poisonous. The toad is poisonous in nature. Okay. Okay. And one thing more, if is there anything you people want to ask if you couldn't understand? If you couldn't understand, please let me know so that I'll repeat it. What are saprophytic? What are saprophytic fungi? What is the function of saprophytic fungi? Clear. Okay, I'm asking, what do you mean by saprophytic? What is the function of saprophytic fungi? Dead organisms are not fungi. They are human beings, animals, and plants. What is the function of saprophytic fungi? I'm asking about it. I'm asking about the saprophytic fungi. They get food from the dead organisms. They decompose. Yes, Tabassum, very good. Saprophytic fungi or saprophytic bacteria are those organisms which take their food or obtain their food from dead organic matters, like from dead human beings, dead plants, dead animals. When these organisms, human, plants, and animals, they die, these type of bacteria and fungi, they act upon them, rely on them, take food, obtain food from them. Yes, right, right. Okay, yes. And name the, what is the mushroom is the common name that we take. What is the botanical name for mushrooms? Start writing in the chat box the botanical name of mushrooms. Commonly we call it mushrooms, but I, in the last class I have explained. Yes, yes, Fatma, good. So Agaricus is the genus and Campestris is the species. Agaricus campestris. How do we classify them? Agaricus east, not east. It's a mushroom. Okay. Okay, beta. Now, today there will be no written assignment uploaded. I will be giving you the learning and some diagrams practice. Okay, there will be no written assignment today. Okay, understood? Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz, everyone.